Hello children, I hope you all are good. I'm also good. I am Sarika ma'am, maths teacher, right? I'll be teaching the chapters of class 8, right? So first chapter, as you know, that we have rational numbers. We have other chapters also, linear equations in one variable, quadrilaterals, geometry and so on, right? So in this video, I'm going to explain rational numbers, right? So before knowing rational numbers, you should know all other numbers which you have already learned in, you have already revised or you have studied in the previous classes like 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, whatever. So you should know the numbers like rational numbers. What are natural numbers? Sorry. So natural numbers you might be knowing are the numbers which starts from 1, 2, 3, all the positive numbers. Right? So then comes whole numbers. This is just a recall. You might be knowing all these numbers, right? Whole numbers. Whole numbers. Whole numbers are the natural numbers or 1, 2, 3, 4 including 0. Right? It includes all the numbers of natural number including 0. Zeros make extra hai. Right? Then comes integers. Integers are all the negative, positive numbers like -4, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1 and 0 also and natural numbers also. So इंटीजर्स में नेगेटिव नंबर्स होते हैं, जीरो भी होता है इंक्लूड और पॉजिटिव भी होता है, तभी मैंने इसका सर्कल बाहर बनाया। जो इंटीजर्स है इसमें सब आते हैं, होल नंबर, नेचुरल नंबर्स, और जो होल नंबर है उसमें सब नेचुरल नंबर्स भी आते हैं और जीरो भी आता है। एंड द नेचुरल नंबर में नंबर्स आते हैं पॉजिटिव स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 1। देन कम्स रैशनल नंबर्स, राइट? रैशनल नंबर्स में ये सारे नंबर्स आते हैं, राइट? बट दे आर ऑफ द फॉर्म p by q फॉर्म। rational numbers, right? They are of the form p by q. p by q होता है fraction like 2 by 3, right? So these are the basic numbers which you might have learned, revised, studied. Natural numbers, whole numbers and integers. ये तीनों clear होने चाहिए, right? Then we'll study this natural number. Now, what are natural numbers? Natural number is a number which is of the form p by q form, right? What do you mean by p by q? P by q means a numerator and a denominator, right? Like a number, we have 2 by 3, right? I can take the integers. ये p and q, these p and q जो है ये integers होते हैं. Integers means ये 0 भी ले सकता है p, राइट? p जो है 0 ले सकता है, नेगेटिव वैल्यूज ले सकता है, पॉजिटिव ले सकता है. आई हैव टेकन सम एग्जांपल्स ऑन. सो q जो है दैट कैन टेक नेगेटिव वैल्यू एंड पॉजिटिव, नॉट 0. q कैन नॉट टेक 0 बिकॉज अगर डिनोमिनेटर में 0 आ गया तो ये बनेगा 2 by 0 व्हिच इज इंफिनिटी. ये हम मैथमेटिक्स में वी डोंट डिफाइन दिस, राइट? सो इट इज नॉट डिफाइंड हियर. सो आई जस्ट रब इट. सो डोंट टेक q डिनोमिनेटर 0. क्यों 0 नहीं ले सकता वैल्यूज, बाकी सारी ले सकता है पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव, राइट? सो वी हैव डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ नंबर्स. लाइक आई से -3, 4, राइट? 3 by 7. Are these rational numbers? How? They are not in the form p by q form, right? So if we put here 1, all the natural numbers or all the integers, when we write 1 in their denominator, that becomes, that has the same value, because -3 by 1 is also -3. Hardly it makes any difference when we write the number 1 in the denominator, right? So these are also rational numbers because they are also of the type form p by q. p by q means fraction. अगर वो fractions हैं ये सारे, तो ये सब rational numbers होते हैं. क्या होता है rational number? They are fractions. फ्रैक्शन में क्या होता है? आपको न्यूमरेटर होता है, डिनोमिनेटर होता है. न्यूमरेटर पॉजिटिव वैल्यूज भी लेगा, नेगेटिव भी लेगा और 0 भी ले सकता है. Like 0, it is also a rational number because we write it as 0 by 1, right? So ये जो q है, it takes positive values, negative also, but not 0. ये q नीचे 0 नहीं होगा, denominator they should not be 0, right? I hope the basic thing is clear. What are rational numbers? They are fractions. और ये पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव 0 वैल्यूज लेता है, नीचे वाला पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव लेता है, राइट? सो नाउ लेट अस सी सम ऑपरेशंस ऑन रैशनल नंबर्स. अब आपको ये तो पता चल गया कि व्हाट आर रैशनल नंबर्स, ठीक है? ये क्लियर हो गया आपको, ये नंबर्स भी क्लियर हो गए आपको, व्हाट आर रैशनल नंबर्स. नाउ लेट अस टेक सम ऑपरेशंस. ऑपरेशंस मींस हाउ टू ऐड देम, हाउ टू सब्ट्रैक्ट देम, राइट? We just add and subtract, multiply and divide as we apply the operations on the fractions. Fractions आपने किए, I think 5th standard में थे, 6th में, 7th में. So just let us recall them, right? So add. Let us do the addition of two fractions. Like let me take the negative value. Minus 3 by 4 and minus 8 by 4. If the denominator is same, it's very easy to add, right? So because the now LCM we don't have to take. 4 same है दोनों का, right? So we are adding. When we are adding, there are two signs. एक इसका अपना sign है, एक हमारा addition का sign है, because we are applying the operation of addition here. Now here it becomes minus 3 and minus 8. हम multiply नहीं कर रहे हैं किसी number से, because the LCM दोनों का same है, right? So this is minus 11 by 4. So this way we add a simple fraction, right? When we subtract, we put here negative, right? फिर operations positive, accordingly आप कर लो. If we don't have the denominator same, so let me recall that also, right? Minus 3 by, suppose this is 4, and minus 9 by, suppose it is 12, right? So what you have to do, you have to make the denominators same. How to make them same? Take the LCM, right? LCM like this way, you will get 12, right? I already know 12, you might be knowing. Let me do it for you. Now 2 2s are 4, right? 2 6 are 2, 2 से आप divide करोगे, फिर 3 आएगा, फिर आप 3 से करोगे, 1 और 1 आएगा, right? So ये आपका LCM होता है 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12, right? I hope you know how to take the LCM, right? Okay, now LCM will be 12. Now you have to make it 12. By multiplying by 3, you make it 12. So 3 ऊपर भी आपको multiply करना होता है, right? So now here, this or this, you are suppose you are adding them, right? 3 is 9, plus minus is minus, and 9, right? You get minus 9, 9, 18 by 12. You can convert it into simplest form. Cut it by 3, 3 6 are 18, 3 4 are 12. Again by 2, 2 3s are 2 2s are. So this is the answer when you add, right? Add, subtract, whatever it is. So operations, I hope you'll be able to apply, because the operations are same as in fractions. जैसे हम fractions को add करते थे, subtract करते थे, multiply and divide करते थे, operations same है, right? So rational numbers are also added, subtracted the same way. Now let us come to the properties, right? We'll be discussing the properties, right? So now, okay children, now let us discuss the properties of rational numbers. There are different 5 properties of addition, right? There are different properties of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So let us discuss the properties of addition of rational numbers. Closure property, commutative property, you might have heard these names earlier also when you did fractions. Closure property, commutative property, associative property, additive identity property, and additive inverse property, right? Now, closure property. What is closure property? If we take two fractions like a by b or any other c by d, if they both fractions, they are rational numbers. So when we add them, we get a number, a fraction, which is also a rational number. So when we add two rational numbers, we get a rational number. So this is a closure property. जब हम दो rational numbers को add करते हैं, तो हमारे पास जो number आता है वो भी rational number होता है. Means to say this thing, right? I hope it's clear. Then comes commutative property. In commutative property, when we change the order of addition, like we have a by b means 2 by 3. I've taken example also. In general also I've written. a by b कोई fraction और c by d उसमें add करें, या पहले c by d लिखें और बाद में a by b लिखें. It's one of the same thing, right? So when we add this fraction this way, and then in the right side you have taken this first and then this, you get the same answer, right? So I've taken the same denominator. You can take the examples of different denominators also. So you'll get 3 by 3, that is 1. Here also you'll get 3 by 3, that is 1. So answer comes same when you change the order of addition. पहले वाले को बाद में add करें या whatever. In addition only, not in subtraction. So commutative property holds in addition of rational number, right? Then comes associative property. Associative property, we take 3 fractions, 3 rational numbers. So when first 2 are added, then afterwards later on this the third one is added, gives the same answer. If you add the last 2 first, then you add this one. Let us take example, like let me take 2 by 3 plus 5 by 3, right? I'm taking same denominator. We can take the different ones also later on. Here 7 by 3. Here it is 2 by 3, then 5 by 3 and 7 by 3, right? First you need to solve these two. So answer will be here 5, 6, 7 and here it's 7 by 3. Now here 2 by 3. First we need to solve these two. It is 12, right? So in both the case answer is 14 by 3. Here also 12 to 14 by 3. So answer remains same, right? In addition only, not in subtraction. So associative property holds good in addition of rational number, right? आपके दो fractions हैं, you have added them first and then you have added the third one, और यहाँ पे आप first वाले को बाद में add करते हैं, you are adding the second and the third one in the first order, then you are adding the answer of this with this. You get the same answer. I hope closure property is clear. Commutative, associative, I'll repeat once again them. Then comes the additive identity property. Additive identity means when you add 0 to the fraction, answer becomes same, right? Means if it is 2 by 3 and you are adding 0 to it, it becomes same. 0 add करने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, right? It hardly makes any difference when you add 0 to a fraction or rational number. So this is called additive identity. Identity means its identity remains the same. Additive inverse property. What do you mean by additive inverse? Additive inverse means when you add a negative of the fraction number, आप उसी fraction का negative part उसी को add करते हैं, तो answer comes 0, right? So if you have 2 by 3, right, and you have to add the inverse. Inverse means the changing the sign. Negative वाला इसी में add करते हैं, चलो ऐसे कर लेते हैं, right? So here what happens? The answer becomes 0 because जब आप same fraction को आप negative वाला positive के साथ you're adding it, so you get the 0, right? So this is called additive inverse. I'll revise these properties once again, right? Closure property says that if you take two rational numbers, right, these both are rational numbers and you're adding them. After adding them, you get an answer. That answer is also a rational number. Rational numbers को add करके rational number ही आता है. It means this, right? Then comes commutative property. Commutative में order हम change करते हैं, right? There we have two fractions. आप इसको घुमा दो, उसको पहले लिख दो, उसको बाद में. Answer comes same. Here instead of two rational number, we have three rational numbers. आपको दो आप पहले ऐड करोगे, बाद में थर्ड वाला ऐड करोगे, और इन द सेकेंड राइट साइड पार्ट आई हैव एडेड द लास्ट टू फर्स्ट, फिर आपने इसके साथ ऐड किया, यू गेट द सेम आंसर. Then comes additive identity property. Additive identity means when you add 0 to any fraction, you get the same fraction, right? उसकी identity change नहीं होती है. Additive inverse property. Additive inverse means when you add inverse of a rational number. Inverse means आप उसका negative part उसी में add कर रहे हो, then you get the answer 0, right? I hope these properties are clear to you, right? Now we'll take some questions. Okay, children, now let us take some examples, some questions, right? Now, how to compare the rational numbers, right? Rational numbers are fractions only, you might be knowing. If you have to compare these two numbers, as the denominators, they are different, so you have to take the LCM and you have to make them same. So here, LCM will be 20, you can take out the LCM, right? Let us make it 20. How to make it 20? By multiplying by 5. How to make this 5 20? By multiplying by 4. Right, so we'll get the answer minus 5 ones are 5 by 20 and here minus 4 twos are 8 by 20. Now when the numbers are negative numbers, the smaller number is greater, right? So the smaller is here minus 5. So in this case minus 1 by 4, that is greater than minus 2 by 5. So this is the answer here. This part is greater, right? This is greater, right? So whenever you have to do the comparison, what you will be doing, you will making the denominator same. आप denominator को same बनाओ, वही number ऊपर multiply होता है, ऊपर का जो answer है वो निकाल के you can find out, you can compare which one is greater. Now let us try this one. Minus 9 by 12 and 3 by minus 4, right? LCM will be 12. You can take out the LCM and find out. So here multiplied by 3, you are not supposed to multiply here. Let us multiply by 1. So what are the answers here? Minus 9 by 12. What is the answer here? 3 3s and 9 by minus 12. Minus, it is in the numerator, denominator means the same thing. You just write it in. So they are equal. They are equal, right? So we just found that this is greater, this fraction is greater than this, and here they both are equal after taking out the LCM and finding out, right? Now this question here, so you can do the comparison as you have done the comparison of the rational numbers, fractions, right? They are same. Now here, if you have to subtract this from this, right? If you have a doubt how to do this question, you have to subtract this from this, means this is greater, right? You have to subtract this, subtract means minus, and then you have to write this. Subtract this from this. Here you have to put the sign of subtraction here. So here you have two signs. Let us write one sign minus minus, that is plus 3 by 7. Again we have denominators are different. So just take out the LCM and find out, right? Here what will be the LCM? 5 7 is 35. Let us multiply this by 7 and this by 5. Right? They both are prime numbers. Right? Here the answer will be here. We have 35. Here 7 ones are 7. 5 threes are 15. Right? 15 minus 7, that is 8 by 35. This is greater number. So we can include here positive sign. We put the sign of a greater number there. Right? So this is the answer. It is already in the simplest form. So I hope it's clear how to subtract. How you have to subtract this from this, then you have to write this number first and then you have to write this number. If it is negative, there are two signs, just write accordingly, right? So now let us take another question, right? Okay children, now I have written two questions of simplification. Let us simplify the questions, right? Now here, this is of division, 8 upon 9, right? Divide. So now I'll do one step. Here we have two negative numbers in the numerator and denominator, so they cancel out, right? We are left with this. Now here, divide changes to multiply and this becomes reverse. Then you can do the cancelling part. You can cancel out like 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 9 ones are 9, 9 threes are 27, and 2 and 3 are left. So we are left with 2 and 3, that is 6. So 6 is the answer. क्या किया हमने? First there were two signs, right? Cancel those signs and then you'll be getting this. Now divide changes to multiply and this becomes reverse. Then you would have to do the cancelling part, right? Now this question here, 16 by 13, right? We don't have two signs, so I'll be doing in this step only. Now here divide changes to multiply, it becomes the inverse, right? You have to just write the inverse of this. Divide changes to multiply, जो right side वाला number है वो reverse होता है, ये वाला नहीं, right? Now do the cancelling part if you can. Negative cancel. 4 ones are 4, 4 fours are 16, right? So we cannot cancel with this 13. 13 is a prime number, so we are left with these numbers, right? So 6 fours are 24, and here it's 13. Right, and accordingly you can solve. You can try the questions. If you have query, you can let me know in the comment section. Right, this is a question. Divide changes to multiply. इसको reverse करो और cutting करो. Divide reverse करो और cutting करो. If you have negative in the numerator and denominator, यहाँ भी हो सकता है, यहाँ भी हो सकते हैं. So you can cancel them out. Right. I hope it's clear. So now in the next video we'll be including the properties of subtraction, multiplication, division, and some different questions. Okay children, thank you. Just work hard, try the questions.